My experience like today is exactly 2 years while I am serving in the military service, and I came here from civilian life, so I was not military before, but for 10 years, because our war lasts for 10 years, I've been working with veterans, with active duty soldiers, with families, chaplains, volunteers, so I was pretty much engaged in different projects, educational, psychotherapeutical projects. And when I entered the military, like I shift my focus, not so much on coming home and recovery, but for psychological training, how to become warrior, how to become fighter, defender, and what kind of skills you need to get, and what kind of identity shift you have to go through, because this is just different mindset and different identity, and if you need to perform for long time and you don't know when it will finish, you have to create strong identity. And we have a lot of cultural archetypes in Ukrainian history that we can rely on, and we have strong sense of cohesion that helps to develop this identity. Many Ukrainian professional soldiers who came in the army, they are pretty open for international practices, and having networking, international networking like we have today, it also helped to shape what do we need, what we can learn, and how we can implement this in the long-standing war. The whole society is involved. We have total war. At that time, in ATO, anti-terroristic operation time, it was more local conflict, let's say. So only like small percent was involved, but even despite this, we had like 10,000 soldiers have been killed during these 8 years. So now it's total war, and it affects civilians a lot, and all society is mobilized for fighting against the invaders. I think we become much more skilled in resisting, in fighting, and because the war changed its nature a lot with technologies, with the drone affairs, with a rocket. Society have a challenge to overcome everyday threat, and good adaptation for that is learning new skills like tactical medicine skills, topography skills, learning how to use weapons, how find safe places, and we like now almost all new buildings need to have underground because of bombardments, and schools also need to have underground place, so to continue education while there is a threat. And people like used to live with constant air alerts, and it can be triggered. Sometimes it just become very just routine stuff, and sometimes it creates a danger, because if it's like too long, too many times, you don't really pay attention. It becomes just part of background noise, and we have some disasters because of that. So people were not fast enough to run away. And we try to find meanings inside, not so much like, okay, we have a hope to become a European Union nation, NATO member, and still we understand that we need to develop our own power, like develop our weapons industry, develop our training methodology better, because like, okay, we are losing territories, we are losing people, and we need to become smarter, better in asymmetrical warfare. So there are different parallel processes. There something is growing, but something is diminishing. Of course, it affects. It's like there are pros and cons. So it's a source of the news, and we have. And I remember myself, like first few months at the full invasion, like you are checking the news every 5 minutes, because like you become very much obsessed with what is going on and try to orient it. But it's normal adaptation, and because we are this digital generation, so we use this type of orienting, not just asking each other, but looking in the phones. But also it can be a source for support. So there is several tools that develop to support mental health, like chatbots, applications that help for veterans, help for civilians, help for active duty soldiers. So, and with good psychoeducation of the society, phones can be used as tools for support. I did not make any research on that. So I think this, if they are not involved directly, but if it's more virtual, it becomes new normality. And of course it's sad, so they have to witness all this cruelty of the war. But it's impossible to avoid that. And in my opinion, like we need to find the ways how to support younger generation about meeting with cruelty in the world. So what can they develop inside? This is a question. I don't have answer for that. But this can be a task for parents, for older people, so how we can accept and live and not get stuck in this cruelty.